Easter eggs are fun, but they are a big pain in the neck to notice. Like, you really have to keep your eye. It's like the ultimate I Spy challenge, or the ultimate keep your eyes peeled challenge. In other words, Ready Player One had countless Easter eggs. Most notable, Chucky and the Tyrannosaurus Rex from Jurassic Park. Now, a lot of people quickly, if you catch in the nick of time, you will notice both Freddy Krueger and Jason. Jason was a little bit more noticeable than Freddy, I will be honest. And then if you actually look closely in one scene, there's RoboCop and Marvin Martian in the final fight. Now this is for an additional fight scene. This is what I would have loved to see. I would have loved to see, say, one of our main characters toss like a hat. And I don't mean, say, what if it was Freddy Krueger's hat? Tosses it. Like Oddjob from Goldfinger. But then as it hits a target, it bounces off one of the bad guys. And then one of the characters catches it with his hand like, and then we see a silhouette. And this stranger puts on the fedora. And it's a very familiar Steven Spielberg character. They're like, who are you? And he'd look down and he'd be like, I'm here to help you guys fight. Take out his whip. And he'd be like, let's get this show on the road here, guys. And then he'd get on his motorcycle, and then I guess he would say something like, it looks like I'm going to do deja vu all over again. Grabs the flagpole. You know the story. You've seen the movie. You know who I'm talking about, don't you? I know you do. Another thing that would have been a lot more of a fantastic final fight is if they had more music. More music, say, I know they had We're Not Gonna Take It by Twisted Sister, but what if they had a little bit more Judas Priest in there, such as Breaking the Law and Free Wheel Burning? Those two songs together, you're gonna get like the ultimate fight. And one thing that I would have loved to see, I would have loved to see Chucky having a more, I think it would have been interesting to see Chucky as a character, like a good guy, anti-hero, good guy, not as a villain alone. And of course, as I said most notably earlier, the Iron Giant. I mean, some posters actually feature the Iron Giant on it. And a lot of us growing up as children, we all remember the Iron Giant. Vin Diesel, he could have returned and did the voice for the Iron Giant once again for the first time in 20 years. That would have been something. Cameo after cameo. And to think about it, there were other Easter eggs that I noticed, such as there was one conversation scene, and the camera's kind of paneling back and forth between every character. Behind one of the characters was the re-elect Mayor Wilson poster from the first Back to the Future movie. Oh, and also the Time Machine. I know my dad, if he were to sit beside me watching it in the theater, he would have looked at me and be like, the Time Machine, it's the time. I was like, I know. And it had everything, the flux capacitor and hover ability. The tires, like in the original ending for the first film, twisted and then it began to fly just a little bit. And of course the Tyrannosaurus from Jurassic Park, if they had him for a fight, the Tyrannosaurus, it would have been an epic fight. It'd be cool to see him as a good guy as well. But overall, the original cut was fantastic. But I think what would have made it a lot more of a blast, it would probably be if we had Indiana Jones, Doc, the T-Rex, if we had all those characters fighting on the good side. I wonder if the T-Rex, if they had the T-Rex, they'd be like, get him! And the T-Rex would just, boom, jump out of like a something. And then it'd end with its famous roar. And then happily ever after.